Hey everyone, Jay Whitner here with Kickstarter Coaching and our internet TV show, Crowdfunding Coverage. We do a quick 10-minute recap of what's happening each month in the crowdfunding universe. So today we'll be talking about August of 2015. So in August there were 11 big campaigns that brought in $600,000 each or more. And these big campaigns added up to about $15 million. The largest campaign was the Opal Nugget Ice Maker that brought in $2.6 million, and we'll talk about that a little bit later on. First, the news. Kickstarter had a little bit of a breakthrough with the biggest documentary ever that was funded in August. This was a Bill Nye sort of biopic about his life and how the science guy has influenced everything. So good for Bill, and we'll talk about that a little bit later on. We had some news in August that some of the Kickstarter gaming people that had success in running game campaigns on Kickstarter, banded together to open up their own gaming site to crowdfund games. So we'll see over time how this develops, whether or not this was a good move for them or not. In a really interesting bit of news, the Smithsonian turned to Kickstarter for fundraising to refurbish Neil Armstrong's spacesuit. And they raised over $700,000, and we'll talk about that campaign a little bit later. And we won't talk about this campaign because it wasn't wrapped up by the end of August. We got a lot of press in August. This was the travel jacket, a jacket with all sorts of features designed to make it a little bit easier for people that travel a lot. And it raised an obnoxious amount of money on Kickstarter, but we'll cover that really more next month's episode. So the big 8 campaigns that we'll talk about today, and some of the unique aspects of them, these campaigns range from about $675,000 to about $2.6 million. The video length ranged from 1:16 to 3 minutes 40 seconds. The duration of the campaigns ranged from 30 to 45 days, with 30 days being sort of the group think on what's the best term for campaigns. And rewards, they range from 5 rewards all the way up to 33. 5 seems kind of skimpy. 33 seems a bit high. Maybe somewhere in the middle is a good number. And updates, everybody had a reasonable amount of updates, 7 to 24. So what are the campaigns themselves? The first one was Sliden Join. This is a campaign for people that do most of their work on their laptop computer. This is sort of a thin box that goes on the back of the display of part of your laptop. And if you need more display space, you can pull out like sliders from behind your main screen. So you can have 1 slider or 2 sliders, resulting in up to triple the amount of screen space that you could normally have on your laptop, which would be really nice, frankly, for me. I do most of my work on a laptop. Some of the interesting parts of this campaign were that they had early bird, where people that pledge to a campaign early get a lower price. They had gifts, which are those mini videos to highlight certain things. They had different colors and finishes for their packaging in terms of either the color or what it's made of. They also had multi-unit discounts and reseller packages. If you had if you owned a retail computer store, maybe you want to sell them yourself, so they had some rewards set up for that. Next, we have a watch. This, I think, is the first titanium automatic watch on Kickstarter. And this, the name is pronounced Courage. I won't bore you with the story behind that. But it raised a lot of money, this campaign, for this watch. They had the media icons with little quotes about what the media had to say about them. They had 5 early bird levels, which is one of the highest I've seen. So 5 different price points depending on when you purchased your watch. They also had something neat that I hadn't seen before, I don't think. it was a table of contents for their Kickstarter page. So some of the pages are long with a lot of information, and this sort of would guide you to see to where the information is you're looking for. So I thought that was a neat idea to have a table of contents. I mentioned this campaign previously. This is the Smithsonian's campaign to refurbish Neil Armstrong's spacesuit. We're coming up on the 50-year anniversary of Apollo. Will be in 2019. And the Smithsonian has all these things planned, new displays and new stuff for this anniversary, and this is part of that. They wanted to refurbish Neil's spacesuit. The suit was designed to keep Neil alive on the surface of the moon. It wasn't really designed to last forever, so the suit is showing its age. And they were running a campaign for $500,000 to refurbish the suit. They raised that handily and pretty quickly too, so they added a stretch goal of another $200,000 so that they could also refurbish Alan Shepard's spacesuit. Alan Shepard was the first person to go on suborbital flight before John and Glenn went up. So anyway, just a very cool thing. Smithsonian using Kickstarter to raise funds. They had supplemental videos in their campaign. They had the stretch goal I mentioned for Alan Shepard's suit. They also had pictures of some of the rewards they were offering. This can be very powerful. If you're organized enough and have your timetable enough to get some samples of your rewards, you take pictures and actually show them. It makes everything more real to potential donors. They see the actual rewards they're going to get. So a good strategy if your time permits you to do that. Then we have the Bill Nye campaign about the documentary about his life. And this campaign was mostly what I would consider a fairly vanilla campaign without too many special features. This campaign really rode on Bill Nye's name recognition and the science guy and all the people that watched the show over the years. So they didn't, perhaps they didn't need to do a lot of real strategy in their campaign so much. They did have the pictures and the names of the people that were running the campaign, which was not Bill himself, the other people really doing this. There was also supplemental video, which people should remember. You're not limited to the one main video when you're doing a Kickstarter. You can also have extra video as well. And one thing they did do that I hadn't seen before was they had some sort of banner headlines in their campaign. And the text of the banner headline was like moving and sparkling because it was really a GIF, was how they made that. I don't think I'd seen that before. It was kind of neat looking, eye-catching. The next campaign, and we're getting into the larger campaigns now. I think all the rest of them are over $1 million that we'll talk about. This is solar paper. This is being billed as the thinnest, lightest solar charging system available. This is really designed for smartphones, but you could also use it to charge a tablet or I guess any of the other mobile electronics that you might have. But they raised a lot of money, and some of the neat things about this one is they had multiple early birds, so they had lower pricing for the earlier tiers of supporters. They had 4 stretch goals, different features depending on the scale of the campaign, and they achieved all 4 of them. Perhaps the coolest thing they did, and this same group had done a Kickstarter before, so that they had this possibility for their campaign. They included some of the comments from their last campaign in this one. So if you've run a campaign before and you're thinking of doing another, and if people said good things about you in their comments, this can be very powerful. This is third-party validation from people that are into Kickstarter and actually worked with the people before. So that's a really smart idea if you have that opportunity. This next campaign sort of goes against the common grain, I guess. Every year the computers get bigger and faster and stronger and able to leap tall buildings in a single bound. They're sort of going the other way here. They sort of scratched their head and they said, do I really need a supercomputer to do word processing and to read my email and stuff? So they basically are taking sort of an Android type platform by today's standards, very small and not so powerful compared to like, a desktop computer or laptop. And this becomes sort of the brain of like a system that you would use. So it's very low price, it's very green, doesn't use much power because, it's not such a powerful system. But frankly, it's powerful enough for what most people use their computers for anyway. They had supplemental video to explain what they were doing and why and the benefits. They had 3 stretch goals that they made. All the stretch goals, they achieved them. And they also had 2 different versions of the product, different amounts of RAM, that kind of thing, to sort of differentiate them and allow a couple of different price points. But an interesting idea. We'll see if people like that. The next one that we have is Snaps. And this one is really inspired by Apple. It was something Apple did 5 or 10 years ago, I guess, that the Apple laptops, they have the recharging port. It's like magnetic. You just kind of put the thing nearby, it grabs a hold and puts itself on. And it doesn't matter if it's upside down or not, because there really isn't an upside down. It's a very nice system. It's magnetic for the charging. But Apple never got around to doing that for their mobile devices, their phones and tablets and everything. So these people designed a system that you can hook on to your iPhone, iPad, and I think it's not just the Apple universe, it's other stuff too. So a magnetic adapter. This is for charging your phone and stuff. It's also for doing the sync for this thing, and at a very low price, $9. Plus the shipping, but still $9 is very friendly. So some of the neat things that they did is if you were backing their campaign, and if you shared their campaign on Facebook, they would give you an extra unit for free. So, if you paid $9 plus shipping, but you showed it on Facebook, you would get 2 of them instead of 1. We also had a pledge calculator to figure out exactly how much you owed. And you might think this seems kind of simple for a calculator, but it depends on how many units you get, what colors you get, and where it's shipped to, and that kind of thing. So they had a calculator that's in there. They had a pie chart showing what the funds were used for in the campaign. People like that, especially if it seems good information is shown in the pie chart. And they had reseller packaging. A lot of campaigns now have an option to buy 10 of the unit in case you want to resell some of the units. But they don't always think in terms of the packaging. So these people, like if you bought that package, the things are sort of set up, ready to be displayed in like a retail environment. And our big winner for August is the Opal Nugget Ice Maker. This one was actually an Indiegogo campaign. And in the base campaign, like I said, raised about $2.7 million, which is quite a bit. This is for a certain type of ice maker. This ice, the way it's made, has different characteristics than regular ice. It's still made of water, but the way they make it, it has just some different characteristics. I have to look at the campaign. It's hard to explain. The campaign used media icons that had little quotes, what the different media people had to say about them. It also used the GIFs, the mini videos, to show different things. And they had a multi-unit sales arrangements that, if you had a few different restaurants, if you want to use it for something like that, or want to give it as gifts, it's kind of expensive, but there you go, a lot of people did. So that is the big campaign of the month, is the Opal Nugget Ice Maker. That's it for our report on August of 2015. Hope you liked it. Check back with us soon, and we'll be talking about what happens in September. And we will see you then. Take care.